Guys, welcome to today's vlog. Today I'm going to be flying out of state from Las Vegas to Oklahoma City, and I'm going to be checking out a supercar that will be my first supercar if everything works out correctly, and I'm pretty excited, so stay tuned. I'm in Oklahoma City. The last time I was here was between 2011 and 2015 when I was in the Air Force at Tinker Air Force Base. I never thought I'd be back in Oklahoma City again. It is a great city, but you know, they have their tornadoes and their weather. So without further ado, this is what I came out here for. This is a 2000 Dodge Viper RT10, and it has about 24,300 miles on it. Red color, comes with a hard top. The soft top's in the trunk, and you know, I might use it if it accidentally rains, but I like the hard top or no top at all. So this is from Oklahoma City. Interior of the 2000 Dodge. You got your RPM, you got your miles per hour. Has 24,330 miles. Over here you got the lights for the check engine or any kind of notifications. You got your temperature gauges, gas gauge, battery, vents, aftermarket radio. I'll probably be replacing it with a pop-out one that is Android Auto. Now this one, the guy put aftermarket speakers in. I'm going to have to double check them all because I don't like the sound quality as of yet. So yeah, this is the 2000 Dodge RT10. You guys can see I made it home back in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I drove the Viper 1,100 miles from Oklahoma City back to Las Vegas where I live. And here's the car, as you can see, and it's sitting next to the Toyota 86. But with the Viper, a couple things. Since I drove it 1,100 miles, I kind of have a good feel for it now. I did feel like I had most of the time I had to have both hands on the steering wheel because it does want to like get away from you, I guess you could say, if you're driving a little fast. But so I just like to keep a little bit more positive control. I mean, it's fine with one hand, but you know, just for more support. Other than that, it's pretty fun to drive. The only thing I have experience with driving besides this was the 2010 Camaro I had. So you know, this is a lot different. It's faster. It has more horsepower, about 30 more horsepower because it's 450 total, and the torque is 490 on this car, and I think the Camaro was like 420 something or whatnot. It was a 2010 SS. But other than that, with this car, one thing that felt a little different with the pedals is the gas pedal is like a full-length pedal. I don't remember it being like that on the Camaro that I had, and so I had to have the seat a little bit forward where my leg was kind of bent to the gas pedal, because in order to get the clutch all the way down, I had to have my seat forward. So other than that, you know, when I was on those long stretches doing like 75 or 80 down the freeway, then I would scoot the seat all the way back and just chill because I wasn't shifting and all that stuff. But as soon as I was getting on the off-ramp or stopping to eat, then I would have to scoot my seat forward and use it to you know, so I could shift and push the clutch all the way in so I don't ride the clutch or anything like that. But other than that, I don't have any complaints. I filled up every time I was about halfway full, and it was about between $20 and $30, give or take the price, to fill up from half a tank to full, and that was using premium fuel, because as you can see, you're only supposed to use premium unleaded fuel only. So yeah, not bad. No really complaints. Other than that, with this car, I'm gonna go ahead and now that I'm here, the first thing I want to do is upgrade the sound system. It already has Alpine speakers. It has an Alpine head unit and an Alpine amp. The amp in the trunk is a 4-channel amp, but so I'm going to keep that the same. For now, I'm going to keep the speakers the same, but the radio has got to go. It's only a single DIN unit. But now Pioneer has these AVH-3500NEX radios, and it's a single DIN, which I have to use because I have AC units under the radio, but it kicks out a screen and it folds up, and I want to use it because it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. I'm an Android user, so I'll be using Android Auto, and the only con is this radio would block the vents a little bit, but I don't foresee using the AC that much, and even if I do, I can always use the floor vents as well. And it's only a two-seater car, so the air will travel. It's not going to take long to cool down the car, you know? So the first upgrade I'm for sure doing is installing this Pioneer AVH-3500NEX. Alright, so I got these tools right here. I'm going to bring a couple of these in the car to remove the dash panel. And these are tools so it doesn't scratch anything. Alright, so you want to be careful taking this trim out. I got it loose. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the cigarette lighter. This is the previous owner, or they had it done, wherever they had it done, they did those kind of cuts. Here's the RCA's speaker wire. Alright, so I disconnected everything. This is the antenna, this is the RCA's for the speaker, and this is the connector for the Alpine radio, so I'm going to have to disconnect this, and I'm going to match the colors up with whatever Pioneer has for their Pioneer NEX line. So I'll for sure have to use these. Usually orange is illumination, red is like 12 volt, yellow I think is constant power, black is ground, and then the blue they have is for the amp turn on in the trunk. So, and I don't know if I'm going to have to use these 4 wires back here, but I am going to tape them off to make it look a little cleaner. Alright, so here we have the old Alpine radio out, and next to me I have the Pioneer AVH-3500NEX. And it's a single DIN as you see, but it pops out it pops the screen out so you can have a 7-inch touchscreen for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So looking in the box, it comes with a remote control, a USB extension cord, the microphone, the wiring harness, some screws, and in here and of course the manuals. So here we have the radio. Go ahead and unwrap it. The Pioneer next to the Alpine, you can see the difference, and we'll go ahead and check out the back. So from left to right, you have a USB cord. This right here is probably a data connector. I need to look at what that's for. The yellow is like, I think that's for the GPS. Then you got the microphone, and then if you need to retain steering wheel controls. The Viper doesn't have any, so I'm not going to use that one. And here you have different inputs. Brown is the camera, and then you also have the red and white for a sub, which is these two. You have the aux in for a 3.5, and then some other red and whites are going to be like for the front. This one's the front output, and there should be a rear one. This one right here is just this is audio input, and the subwoofer and the rear output. And then over here you have the antenna adapter, and then this connector right here is the main power that connects to your car factory wiring, and then you got a fan for some airflow. That's the back of the 3500NEX by Pioneer. Alright, so looking at the radio that was in the car, there's a faceplate, this faceplate that goes in the front, and it sticks through that hole on the side right there. So I need to transfer this bracket to the new radio and then put that faceplate on. I'm going to show you one side right here. I transferred the bracket, and on this side, this is the factory little thing for their trim piece, but I need to take that off and do the same thing with this side right here. And then this tab I had to bend a little bit to make this piece go on. Otherwise this would keep it sticking up, and I had to bend this tab a tiny bit. But this one fits in right in the hole right there, so it's good. So I'm putting the new head unit back in. I only had to do the black wire for ground, red, yellow, and orange for illumination. And the microphone's hooked up. I'm going to run it over there. So now I'm going to pop the trim piece back on. So here the radio is complete. And as soon as I turn the car on or go to accessory, it'll kick out by itself. This was the message I was receiving when I plugged in my phone to my Android Auto Pioneer NEX 3500 in my Dodge Viper, and since I didn't have the parking brake hooked up, this is the error it shows you, so you can't even set it up even though my car is sitting still. So hopefully the micro bypass wiring harness allows me to set up Android Auto. The micro bypass kit, it has 3 wires, blue, black, and green. Green will go to the parking brake, black is ground, and blue will go to the amp power that comes from the radio. Okay, so here I have the green to the parking brake, blue to the amp turn on, black to ground. Now's the moment of truth. Will I get that error screen when I try to hook up Android Auto? Gotta wait till it boots up. Go ahead and open it. Okay, so now I have this wire. I'm gonna plug it into my phone. Okay, so it does work. Now I can set it up. You can see over here it's working with Android Auto. It works perfectly fine. So yeah, the micro bypass kit worked. Final connection, I went ahead and soldered these RCAs together just so they stay together, and then wrapped this cable that goes to the wiring harness with this tested tape just so it looks more factory. We'll go ahead and try it out. And there you have it, there's Android Auto. Works perfectly fine. Got all the apps, home screen, you got ways for navigation that you can use Google Maps, all kinds of different radio stuff. If you liked today's video, please be sure to like the video or subscribe or hit the bell icon to get notified when I have another video. And thank you for joining me on today's video, getting a 2000 Dodge Viper and installing an aftermarket Pioneer AVH-3500NEX so I can use Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in the car. And I plan on doing some other upgrades, just not sure 100% yet, so please be sure to follow me. Have a good one.